Based on your quiz answers, on your body shape, your hunger levels, and the symptoms that you have, your weight loss type is type S. Now, why is it called type S? The S stands for serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical in the brain that relays messages about mood, sleep patterns, memory, and learning. Based on the answers that you provided, you may be suffering from a low level of serotonin. If you suffer from a lot of stress and low moods, this could be the reason why. So you may be wondering how being type S affects your ability to lose weight. The reason is because when you have low serotonin, you may find that you eat more sugary sweet foods to raise your mood. Another reason why you crave sugary food is because when serotonin levels are low, your body needs to find ways to create energy. This often means breaking down muscle rather than fat. And the problem with losing muscle is that it reduces your metabolism, which controls your ability to burn fat. It leads to more unnecessary fat being stored in your arms, your legs, your stomach, and other problem areas. And so you get stuck in a chain of low serotonin, sugary food cravings, and weight gain. It really makes it seem impossible to lose weight no matter how hard you try. So, what can you do about it? As a type S person, what you need to do is break the chain. You need to stop the food cravings that make you eat sugary and high-carb foods. Thankfully, it is possible to reduce your food cravings and break the chain, and I'm going to explain how in just a few seconds. But first, you may be wondering, who am I? My name is Pierre, and this pretty lady right here next to me is Susan, my favorite American patient.
Hey, Pierre. Thanks for having me.
Now I'll explain to you who Susan is in a minute. First, I'd like to quickly explain why I created this presentation. Have you ever wondered why some people stay skinny as a beanpole no matter what they eat, and other people put on pound after pound despite dieting, exercising every day, and missing out on their favorite foods? It drives you crazy, doesn't it? How some people barely seem to put on weight since their late teens, while you may be struggling to fit in last year's jeans. Well, the reason why is no longer a mystery. We know now exactly why some people never seem to put on weight, and you may find it impossible to lose weight no matter how hard you try. Well, we now know that it has nothing to do with your body type or genetics or even what diet you're on or how often that you exercise. You may be wondering, how do I know what the reason is when everyone else is telling you that the only way to lose weight is to live off juiced vegetables and kill yourself in the gym for hours every week? Well, the reason is because I'm a fully qualified nutritionist and dieting expert. I deal with people every day who are desperate to lose weight. People who have tried all manner of weird berry juices, exercise routines, and they've even tried starving themselves to lose weight, but without success. Thankfully, due to the advances in nutritional science, I'm now able to tell you the real reason why you may have consistently failed to lose weight up to now. More importantly, I'll explain how I can help you to finally start cutting the pounds and get the dream body and self-confidence you've been desperate for years, if not your whole life. Now, the solution I'm about to tell you about is truly groundbreaking. It's only recently been discovered, and the mainstream media has yet to hear about it. In fact, this solution to weight loss is so new that hardly anybody knows about it. But as a nutritionist, I know how vital it is that more people find out about it, because it can be truly life-transforming. This is the reason why I created this video. I want to ensure that thousands, if not millions of people can benefit from the same advice that I give to my patients based on the proven clinical results of the latest advances in nutritional science. This is advice that has helped them shred pounds from their arms, legs, belly, and other problem areas in faster time than they ever thought possible. Now, before I continue, I should warn you that what you're about to hear is information that the big food companies, well, they don't want you to know about. Because in this video, I'll be exposing the myths, the lies, and downright deceit that's been told to you about the so-called diet foods and other foods they tell you are healthy, but are actually stopping you from losing weight. As a result, I may be forced to take this video down, so please make sure that you watch it to the end and share it with anyone you know who's been struggling with diets and weight loss for years. This video will reveal the reason why they've struggled for so long. I also recommend that you switch off your mobile phone and close any other windows on your PC while you watch this presentation, because the information I'm about to share could change your life forever. Okay, if you're ready, I'll continue. The first breakthrough in our understanding of why people are getting fatter and fatter was in 1994 when scientists first discovered leptin. Leptin is known as the fat thermostat or obesity hormone. Leptin is like a control lever for the amount of fat that we store or lose in our bodies. It's what signals to our brain that our stomach is full and our body has the optimum amount of fat for survival. It works kind of like this. When you eat, fat gets stored in your body. This fat releases leptin. The leptin tells your brain that you have enough fat and that you need to stop eating. Now, it works the same way in reverse. When you don't have enough fat, you don't have enough leptin. You then start to feel hungry to replenish your fat and leptin levels. This is how Robert H. Lustig, MD, professor of pediatrics at the University of California, San Francisco, and a member of the Endocrine Society's Obesity Task Force, defines it. Leptin is our starvation hormone. Leptin tells your brain that you have enough energy stored in your fat cells to engage in normal, relatively expensive metabolic processes. But when people diet, they eat less, and their fat cells lose some fat, which then decreases the amount of leptin produced. Now, your brain senses that, and it says, hey, I don't have the energy on board that I used to. I'm now in a starvation state. Then several processes begin within the body to drive leptin levels back up. So, in plain English, what Dr. Lustig is saying is that when your brain senses your leptin levels are at the correct level, then you burn energy and eat food at a normal level. But when it senses they are too low, it triggers the nerves that make you hungry to get your levels back up. The problem is that people's brains have stopped recognizing the signals from leptin. They've developed what's now called a leptin resistance, and we're all getting fatter as a result. Now, when you have a leptin resistance, no matter how much fat is stored in your body, you still feel hungry and carry on feeling hungry. You then eat more, and you get fatter and fatter. Why is this happening? Why have people developed a leptin resistance? What's changed in our lifestyles that's making us feel hungry all the time and finding it impossible to lose weight as a result? Well, as you might have already guessed, it's the food that we're eating. More precisely, it's all the high in energy, dense, low-nutrient foods that are to blame. I'm talking about all the carbonated fizzy drinks, the refined flour, the corn syrup, refined sugar, and all the other preservatives, sweeteners, and additives that we're putting into our bodies every single day. Just look at this chart on how our sugar intake has rocketed in the last 160 years. As you can see, our sugar intake and obesity levels have exploded in tandem to unimaginable levels over the last few decades. The problem is that we now have a diet that's toxic to our body's natural and delicate system of hormones and proteins that control how we process food. Overloading our food with sugar has also caused us to develop our leptin resistance, so we can continue craving food and eating more and more no matter how fat that we get. Naturally, the food companies want this to continue. For them, the invention of high fructose corn syrup and refined sugars has helped them make billions of euros and dollars from making people get fat. It's enabled them to manufacture cheap food, which is almost addictive in how it makes people want to eat more and more. So if you find it very difficult to lose weight, it's not because you're not dieting properly or not exercising enough. It's because of all the processed food that you've eaten for decades, which continues to make you crave sugar-laden processed food. It's really that simple. Thankfully, awareness on what we're doing to our bodies, our health, and overall well-being is finally starting to spread. I'd like you to find a pen right now and write down the names of these documentaries. How Sugar Affects the Brain and Processed Food, an Experiment That Failed. And after this presentation finishes, I want you to watch them on YouTube. They'll reveal to you the exact same information on what the processed food industry is doing to our health in the pursuit of profits. But before you do that, I'd like to reveal that I have some good news for you. I do. I didn't create this presentation just to scare you. I created it because I have a real proven solution to leptin resistance. With this solution, it's possible to undo the damage that processed food may have done to your body. And not only that, but my solution can actually enable you to lose pounds fast and keep them off by helping you to lose weight without suffering from the food cravings that normally occur. I'll tell you what this solution is in just a second, but first I want to make it clear what the steps are to reversing your leptin resistance and losing weight in a safe, healthy way that'll stop the weight returning, as always happens with yo-yo dieting. As you probably guessed, the first step is to cut out all the processed food from your diet. Eating any food that's been manipulated in some way is going to stop you from ever getting the lean, toned body that you've dreamed of. Instead of processed food, you need to start eating whole, natural foods. These are foods with only one ingredient and are things like meat, vegetables, fruit, beans, and all the foods that you were probably fed as a child. So once you start eating food free from preservatives, sweeteners, and other artificial ingredients, your body's leptin resistance will diminish and you'll finally start to lose the fat stores all over your body. Now, I expect you've heard this advice before, right? That you knew already that eating healthier foods is essential for losing weight? But healthy eating is only part of the puzzle. The real problem is what to do when the cravings arrive. Thankfully, I have the answer for that too. The solution to eating healthier foods that enable you to lose weight without feeling hungry all the time is to eat foods that will maximize your leptin levels. In other words, these are foods that supercharge your leptin levels so that your brain gets the message much faster that you're full so you can lose your fat stores without getting any food cravings. Now, this is the very cutting edge of nutritional science. Very few people know about these foods and how powerful they are for eliminating food cravings while helping you to cut pounds of weight very fast. I only know about these foods because I've spent years conducting my own research to find out exactly which whole foods help to produce the most amount of leptin. These are foods that take your leptin production to a whole new level that's impossible to get from the fruit and vegetables found at your average supermarket. These are foods that'll keep your leptin levels high, your hunger low, and it'll enable you to accelerate your fat burning and weight loss. When you eat these foods, you can lose weight without having to go on a special diet or starve yourself. You just let your body burn the fat the way it's supposed to. So what are these ingredients? I should warn you, they're pretty weird. The ingredients that increase leptin the fastest are African mango seeds, olive tree leaves, a seaweed from Iceland, and Chinese leaves used in green tea. Now, when you eat these foods, you can watch the fat just fall off without feeling like you're starving yourself or feeling tempted by the sugar-loaded processed foods that made you fat in the first place. Now, when I discovered these foods, at first I was very excited about how they could transform the ability of my patients to lose weight. But I then faced a whole new problem. How could I source, import, and distribute these highly rare foods to all of my patients? How could I make sure they ate the correct amounts and that I could supply them without risking bankruptcy in the process? The solution I came up with was to make my own supplement treatment. So I contacted a supplements company and started to make my own leptin-boosting supplement. Now my patients can gain all the leptin they need just by swallowing a pill twice a day. My solution enables them to finally live their lives without thinking about food every minute of the day. They finally started eating sensibly and are eating healthier foods without feeling hungry 30 minutes later. This is because my supplement treatment helps to keep leptin, their fat thermostat, at a heightened level and dramatically reduce their food cravings. As a result, my patients can finally start to lose the fat they've been carrying around for years and lose weight with none of the overpowering cravings. My supplement treatment has already had a massive impact on the lives of many of my patients. In fact, the results were so amazing and transformative that I knew I had to share my product with other people that are desperate to lose weight all over the world. But rather than just hear me talk about how great it is, I'd like you to hear from one of my ex-patients. So now I'd like to introduce you to Susan properly this time. When she came to see me, she was very depressed and worried about her health because of the weight she was putting on each year. Thankfully, I was able to explain to her why it wasn't her fault that she couldn't lose weight. that it wasn't because of not dieting properly or not exercising enough. Both of these are pointless unless you can maintain high enough leptin levels as the weight comes off. Otherwise, your cravings for food take over and you put on more weight than before. Susan's story was so heartwarming for me that I asked her to appear on my presentation, and she generously agreed. So here she is. Over to you, Susan.
Well, when I first met Pierre, my weight problems were really out of control. My self-esteem and happiness was at rock bottom. I'd even try to avoid shop windows so I didn't see my reflection. I really felt that bad about how I looked. I could still remember how I looked when I was slim as a teenager and even into my early 20s. But, like for many people, that all changed after having my 2 children. I found it impossible to lose all the extra weight I put on during pregnancy, and then the weight just kept going up year after year. I tried everything. I tried all sorts of those fad diets I saw on TV and in magazines. I even stopped eating bread, pasta, and all those other foods you're told not to eat. I did exercises in front of the TV whenever I could, but nothing made any difference. Well, it was just when I thought that there was nothing else I could do, and I was doomed to feeling overweight and unhappy for the rest of my life, a mother at my children's nursery told me about Pierre. I've been doing Pierre's supplement treatment for the last few months, and I just can't tell you what a difference it's made. Normally, when I tried to eat sensibly, I just felt like I was starving myself. All I could think about was food and little energy I had, and gosh, how miserable I felt. But then, when I started taking Pierre's supplement treatment, the food cravings just disappeared. I stopped thinking about food all the time, and I was able to enjoy my day and feel more energetic and get more done. Even more incredible was how easily I started to lose weight. You can't imagine how wonderful it feels to watch how your body changes, instead of looking in the mirror and just seeing myself getting fatter all the time. Now, when I look in the mirror, it's a completely different feeling. I've actually been able to see the flabby, wobbly bits, like my underarms, my stomach, the backs of my thighs, and even my face, all start to shrink and get smaller. I feel like my whole body is getting slimmer all the time. That I don't wobble as much going up and down the stairs, and that I have more energy and even feel like I look younger. It's been really amazing. I just like to say that, if you're in the same situation I was in, if you've tried all sorts of diets, yoga, gym classes, and even cutting out your favorite foods, but nothing's working, then you must give Pierre's supplement treatment a try. Pierre is a professional nutritionist, so as you'd expect, he knows a lot about food. Some of the things he told me really shocked me about the foods we're eating. I never realized just how damaging some of those foods in your fridge can be to your health. I think that as soon as more people find out about leptin and the damage we're doing to our bodies from processed food, people will be rushing to get Pierre's supplement treatment. So look out for it on NBC very soon. But if you don't try it, at the very least, make sure you cut out processed food from your diet. If the science is true, the whole world is heading for an obesity disaster. So whatever you decide, I wish you good luck. I really hope you can finally get the slim figure you've always wanted now that you know what's stopping you from losing weight and what to do about it.
That's terrific. Thanks for all that wonderful advice, Susan, and I'm so happy that you agreed to be on my video. I think Susan already covered everything I wanted to say about why it's the leptin resistance caused by processed food that's stopping you from losing weight, so I'll keep this short. I created my supplement treatment, which I've called Leptiplus, because as a qualified nutritionist, making sure people are getting the best foods possible is very close to my heart. It makes me mad to watch how the processed food industry is happily making the world get fat, unhealthy, and, let's face it, unhappy for the sake of profits. And what's worse is that this also means they're putting people at risk of diabetes, heart disease, and an early death because of all the fat their bodies are storing up due to their lack of leptin. So instead of just getting angry all the time, I decided to do something about it by creating my own supplement to help people lose weight without painful food cravings. I wanted to make sure that Leptiplus was as safe and natural as possible, so it's made from 100% natural ingredients. It contains no artificial ingredients or dusting, as it's known in the supplements industry, or any stimulants of any kind. It's also gluten-free and approved for vegetarians and vegans. I spent literally years researching how effective all the ingredients in Leptiplus are at turning the body into a fat-burning machine. If you'd like to know what some of the studies are, you can find the links after this video. And if you do get a chance to read them, you'll see for yourself how amazing the ingredients are and how they've been proven to help people to lose pounds of weight very quickly without making any drastic changes to their diet or adopting new exercise regimes. Because when you raise your leptin levels, it really is that powerful on its own at burning through the fat stores in your body. Now, you're probably thinking a high-quality supplement like this must cost a fortune, right? And if you're looking for a cheap, low-quality diet solution, Leptiplus, it isn't for you. That being said, with obesity on the rise all across the United States, I wanted to make this supplement as affordable as I possibly could so it could help as many people as possible have the biggest positive impact. As a nutritionist, I know what really matters, and that's seeing the transformation in my patients, in people just like Susan. It's amazing to watch how their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and general happiness improves because they're finally able to make progress in losing weight after years and sometimes decades of struggle. These are people who've tried every gimmick diet, brutal training routine, and even starving themselves all day, but never have they been able to keep the weight off consistently. Now they're able to do that thanks to my treatment, which is very rewarding for me. Here's what some of them have to say. Kate from Washington said, "This is the only thing that's made a difference for me. Watching the scale drop kept me motivated, and I've lost 43 pounds. I eat well and enjoy life." And then there's this letter from Michael. "I had become a stressful eater and couldn't even walk with my grandchildren. I realized that my weight was out of control. With Pierre's treatment, my late-night cravings disappeared and my energy went up. Now that I've lost 90 pounds, I'm back playing with my grandkids." And Marilia from San Diego. "Finally, a medical doctor who explained why I was not losing weight. In the past, nothing worked and everything left me hungry and jittery. But in just 5 weeks, I lost weight without being hungry at all. I thought I was dreaming when I stepped on the scale. Pierre has taken me from a tight size 8 to a fabulous skinny 8. I'm thrilled." As you can see from their feedback, Leptiplus can make an incredible difference in helping people achieve their weight loss goals and improve their lives. In order to make sure as many people as possible can benefit from Leptiplus and finally get the body they've been battling to get for years, I've tried to keep the cost of Leptiplus as low as possible. Not only that, but if you can commit to a 90-day supply up front, then I can drop the price even lower thanks to the cost savings of scale. You can find details of the volume discounts on the order page, which you can access by clicking on the button below those videos. Now, if you still have your doubts, then I'd like to make it even easier for you to give Leptiplus a try, because I've decided to supply it with a lose weight or don't pay 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, this means that if in the first 30 days of taking Leptiplus you don't lose a single pound, then you can contact me on my personal email, which I'm showing on screen for you now, and will be provided to you when you order. I'll also be continuing to stay in contact with you by email to make sure you're achieving your weight loss goals and to support you on your journey. My goal is to put Leptiplus into the hands of as many struggling women and men as I possibly can. So if you're still undecided about getting this product, I'll make you an offer that you can't refuse. Get the treatment delivered to your door, try them out, go through all the dieting plans in my free ebook, and if you're not absolutely blown away by the results, in 30 days, just send me an email and I'll give you a full refund.
Oh, you'll love the results. I guarantee it.
Thanks for that, Susan. And as Susan mentioned, Leptiplus is not a magic pill. Your body's digestion system is like an engine. Leptiplus will stop you from getting food cravings, but it won't burn fat for you. You still need to do moderate exercise a few times a week to get rid of the deposits of fat on your arms, legs, stomach, and other problem areas. Now that that's been said, I'd lastly like to remind you of your options when you stop watching from this video and the direction that your life could take. You can take no action at all. You can continue to feel unhappy and low in confidence because of the weight that you find impossible to lose. You can continue trying diets that don't work, tough gym routines that you give up after a few days, and feeling hungry and miserable from not being able to eat your favorite foods. Or you can decide to make a change. That change begins by going into your fridge and pulling out all the processed foods loaded with corn syrup and processed sugar that's causing your leptin resistance and making you feel hungry all the time, so you eat more and more food. You can take all of these foods and then donate them to your local homeless shelter, food bank, or charity. Now, you fill that space in your fridge with whole, natural foods like fruit, vegetables, beans, nuts, and meat. And lastly, if you're really serious about not just losing weight, but keeping the weight off for good, you must make sure you can avoid the hunger pangs and cravings that will immediately arrive when you stop eating processed foods. You could try going cold turkey and using willpower to stop yourself from eating. Or you can try Leptiplus and allow its refinement of the most powerful leptin-boosting foods that'll keep hunger pangs at bay as you lose weight in a safe, healthy way. Just imagine losing pounds of fat from all those problem areas. To get thinner and more toned arms, a slender waist, slim, sleek legs, and an overall reduction of 10, 20, or 30 pounds all over your body. Just imagine the look of surprise on your friends' faces when seeing them for the first time in months with your new, slender, toned body. They'll be even more surprised when you share what you've learned from this video and you tell them how you discovered the secret to weight loss that most people don't know about. That you've been able to finally lose weight without feeling hungry or craving food all day and all night. So, which route will you take? Endlessly feeling hungry, overeating, and getting fatter year after year? Or finally taking action to treat your leptin resistance and to be able to eat in a healthy way that means you finally lose weight? If you're ready to make a change that can transform the way you look, your self-confidence, and your overall health, then I urge you to give Leptiplus a try. Remember, if it doesn't help you in the first 30 days, you can get your money back, so there really is no risk in just giving it a try. The ingredients in Leptiplus are highly rare and sought after, and I expect my costs to rise considerably as more people find out about leptin and the supplements industry's big players rush to make their own version of Leptiplus. So make sure you secure your supply and beat the price rise. Place your order right now and discover the secret to losing weight that Susan and thousands of people like her are now discovering. Your path to a new, slimmer, more beautiful body can begin right now.